Good morning, students. Welcome to Ekcel Academy's live session for CSEET. Today we'll be looking at current affairs. Before we proceed further, let me make a quick announcement. As you can see, CS course can be challenging and hard. It's a professional course. It's not like your degree exams. So if you have taken up CS just now, you may have lots of questions with respect to CS program, whether it is executive or CSEET or even professional. If at all you have any doubts, or if at all you feel like you need someone whom you can talk to, you can always book a free one-to-one counseling session. The phone number is there on the screen. You can just WhatsApp us and someone from our team will get in touch with you. So and also, of course, that goes without saying that you can always visit our website and register there. So there are lots of tips and quizzes and notes and whatnot available for the sake of CS exams, whichever stage you are in. So please do take advantage of the same. Okay. Anyway, let's proceed directly to the topic, today's topic, that is current affairs. Just give me a second till I open the reference material. Okay. Now there is one thing which the institute has done. They have updated the CSEET current affairs material, which is a very good development. So if you can go to the website and download this reference material 2 for current affairs, you can see that it is updated as on March 15, 2022. So until last term, what we had was an outdated reference material for current affairs. It was not exactly current. So now that they have corrected it and updated it, it's a very good development. So now if you look at current affairs, there are 4 divisions here. The 4 divisions being international and national affairs, financial affairs, political affairs, and legal and other affairs. So that's how they have divided. But when it comes to current affairs, anything can be asked. So don't strictly go by only these 4 divisions here. So let us first look at what are the topics covered in the reference material itself. Again, in the international and national affairs, all these international bodies where India is also a member have been covered. Then we have various other organizations and summits and conferences. They talk about business personalities and leaders, books and their authors. So just because it says international and national affairs, it doesn't mean only about international relations. It's about other things as well. So language and national symbols, awards and honors, international diplomacy, art and culture, education, etc. Now, likewise, we have financial affairs, wherein they talk about the current development in banking and finance, current development in stock markets, then current political scenario that comes under the political affairs, committees, appointments, initiatives, schemes, etc. And finally, we have the legal affairs, current affairs related to CS Institute or Supreme Court or anything else related to legal and other affairs. So we'll look at each of these to whatever extent possible. Since this is a crash course, we don't have much time as well. What I will be doing is I'll be devoting much of my time to those things which I believe is necessary from the point of view of exam. So all that matters is how you fare well in exam. That's all. So because exams are maybe 5 days away from now, so let's not waste too much of time in theory. So I'll just underline those things which I feel you should definitely remember, because MCQs can be asked in such cases. Now, International Monetary Fund, IMF, you should know what is IMF. All these acronyms are important, that goes without saying. Okay, is an organization of 190 countries. Important. This might come as an MCQ question. Working to foster global, all this is not required, just don't worry about it. Okay, IMF was established in 1944, again required. In the aftermath of Great Depression, yes. 44 founding member countries sought to build a framework for international economic cooperation, they say. So initially they started with 44. Okay, today its membership embraces 190 countries. See, In the very first page of current affairs only, we have so many facts. So IMF, International Monetary Fund, how many countries? 190 countries. When was it established? 1944. Why? In the aftermath of the Great Depression of 1930s. How many were there when it was established? Only 44 countries. No, of course, 190 countries, and with a staff drawn from 150 nations. Okay, that's not an important thing, but still, the IMF is governed by and accountable to the 190 countries that make up its near global membership. That's okay. Okay, now what is their duty or role? What is that they strive to achieve? The IMF's primary purpose is to ensure the stability of the international monetary system. Okay, it sounds very generic. The system of exchange rates and international payments that enable countries to transact with each other, to make sure that however we transact with other countries or the citizens of the other countries, IMF brings to ensure that stability. That's all. The fund's mandate was updated in 2012 to include all macroeconomic and financial sector issues that bear on global stability. So whatever has any impact on global stability, even though it's a macro matter, even there they will try to involve themselves. Fundamental mission: keeping track of the global economy, lending to countries with balance of payments difficulties. We have seen what is balance of payments in economics. So if any country is facing any issue with respect to balance of payments, they will try to lend money. Giving practical help to members. Okay, that is also all not very important. See, what you can do is, if at all you feel like this is a very broad based generic statement, or this is talking mostly theory, ignore that. How will they even ask such questions in the exam? The IMF surveillance. The IMF monitors the international monetary system and global economic developments to identify the risks and recommend policies for growth and financial stability. Okay, blah 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 blah. Not important. IMF capacity development. Again, not important. Okay, facts. Here itself they have given the facts. That's good. Membership: 190 countries. Good. Headquarters: Washington DC. New fact, important. Executive board: 24 executive directors, each representing a single country or groups of countries. Good, important. Amount available for lending: $1 trillion. Yes, recipient countries of emergency pandemic financing: 76 countries. Okay. This is important. I think this I had mentioned in the previous live class as well. The first deputy managing director, Geoffrey Okamoto, to leave IMF. Okay. Geeta Gopinath to be IMF's new first deputy managing director. So IMF chief right now is Geeta Gopinath from India. In fact, we can also say she is from Mysore, where Ekcel Academy is based out of. Okay. Ms. Gopinath, who is a US national and a overseas citizen of India, has joined IMF in her new position. When did she join? Jan 21st, 2022. On her new appointment, Ms. Gopinath said, "I am honored and humbled to become the IMF's new FDMD. Over the past 3 years, I have had the opportunity to experience firsthand." Okay, all that is nonsense, not required. All that you need to know is she has been appointed to Ms. Geeta Gopinath. So that is important. When was she appointed? Jan 21st. Even that is not important. Just remember, Geeta Gopinath has been appointed as what? FDMD, First Deputy Managing Director. Next. Okay, this is about India at a glance. Projected real GDP percentage changes 9%, they say. Again, this is based on the World Economic Outlook update. Date of membership 1945. Okay. Again, not much of information is here. Okay, let's see. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. All the acronyms are important, including this one. The association of or ASEAN was established on 8th of August 1967 in Bangkok. This is important. Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of ASEAN Declaration by founding countries of ASEAN, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. Okay. So current members of the group include, now they have expanded to Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Brunei, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam. So they have given when each of these countries joined. Not very important. It all happened in the past. Hechi Dato Lim Jok Hoi is the Secretary General of ASEAN. You may not be able to remember the name, at least remember the initials HEDLJH. So he is the Secretary General of ASEAN. Okay. Aim and purpose, not very important. Don't keep reading all this now. Just try to remember the member states. So remember, India is not part of this. Okay. Brunei, Darussalam, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and Laos PDR. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. ASEAN in news. Okay, they have updated this as well. That is interesting. President Joe Biden of US, of course, will host the leaders of ASEAN, most likely minus Myanmar, at a special summit in Washington DC later this month. Okay, when did this happen? March, most likely that will happen. Okay, this has already happened, I guess. You please check it out if this happened. So it's a top priority for the Biden-Harris administration to serve as a strong. Okay, all that is not required. All you need to do is ASEAN was hosted by Joe Biden. So that much you can remember. Then it's okay. Let me check if that happened. Yeah. US ASEAN summit actually happened. So okay. According to the news reports, it did happen. So let me just... Okay, if you can see here, you can notice that it says Joe Biden to host US ASEAN special summit in Washington on May 12th to 13th. Okay. Again, I think it got postponed. Yeah, that's news about summit. Anyway, let's come back. 18th India ASEAN Summit. That was also held in Bangkok in October 2021. Virtually, of course. Nothing of significance here. Just remember it was held in October 2021 virtually. Next, BRICS. BRICS is an informal group of states comprising Federative Republic of Brazil, the Russia Federation, the Republic of India, the Republic of China, and Republic of South Africa. Okay. So basically Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So when did it happen? 2006. So India in 2016 became the head of the association. Okay, anything else which... 13th BRICS Summit was held under the India's chairship on 9 September 2021. It was the third time that India hosted. I think this was also a virtual summit. Okay. Next comes the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. I'm sure you would have heard of this SAARC. So let's see what exactly we have. Sorry. The secretariat of the association was set up in Kathmandu, okay, on 17 January 1987. So who are the member states? Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Just think of all the neighboring countries of India. So some of them are not immediate neighbors, but yeah. Then comes the G20. G20 is a strategic multilateral platform connecting the world's major developed and emerging economies, they say. So again, as the name itself says, 20. Who are those 20? Argentina to India to Italy to Saudi Arabia to South Africa, Turkey, etc. So Spain is also invited as a permanent guest. So G20 has no permanent secretariat. There is no such thing, no office or anything. Nothing much is here. Okay, this might be important. So the 17th group of 20, that is G20 heads of state and government summit, will take place in October 22 in Bali, Indonesia. Okay, under the Indonesian presidency, the G20 in 2022 will focus on the theme "Recover Together, Recover Stronger." Okay, fine. Just remember the theme. You never know if they might ask or not. Then comes the BIMSTEC, the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay. Oh my goodness, why do they even keep such big names? Which are the member states of this? Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal and Sri Lanka. And 2 from South Asia, including Myanmar and Thailand. Okay. BIMSTEC. B for Bangladesh, I for India, M for Myanmar, S Sri Lanka, T for Thailand, EC is Economic Corporation. Try to remember the acronym once again. Okay. So all this you can't do much. Just don't remember. Don't even try because you'll be simply wasting time. Nothing much about it anyway. International Finance Corporation is a sister organization of the World Bank and member of World Bank Group. That's all there is worth remembering. Then we have ADB, Asian Development Bank. Okay, so that's all about the international bodies. So as I said, don't read anything which goes heavily on theory, like what are their purposes, what is that they will work on, etc. Those things are difficult to ask in the final exam. So if it is difficult to ask, what's the point of even trying to remember now? So instead of that, try to get facts. Facts are all that matters. Okay, so let's move on to the national bodies. So national bodies are those bodies which function within the country, of course. NITI Aayog, we know, it's the famous predecessor or rather successor to Planning Commission. So earlier we had the Planning Commission, now we no longer have Planning Commission, but instead we have a NITI Aayog. So what was the initial mandate? It was to establish heavy industries through public investment as a means for achieving rapid industrialization. Okay. whatever functions were assigned to planning commission. So this will now go to NITI Aayog. Okay. So it has been entrusted with the mandate of reimagining the development agenda by dismantling the old style central planning. Okay. All this is theory again. Doesn't make any sense to read all this. Okay, this might be important. Chairperson is the Prime Minister himself. Then the Vice Chairperson is Dr. Rajiv Kumar. Full-time members being V.K. Saraswat, Professor Ramesh Chandra and V.K. Paul. Full-time members, not very important. Vice Chairperson, try to remember. Chairperson, you know. Ex officio members, special invitees, not required. This might come as a question. CEO is Amitabh Kant. Okay. Chairperson, we know. Relevance of NITI Aayog they have given. That's okay. Then comes Reserve Bank of India. It was established on 1st of April 1935 in accordance with the provisions of Reserve Bank of India 1934. Earlier we had this Imperial Bank and then it became Reserve Bank. Central office of the Reserve Bank was initially established in Calcutta but was permanently moved to Mumbai in 1937, they say. Okay. It is fully owned by the government of India. It was originally privately owned. That is interesting. Since nationalization in 1949. Okay. Can't remember all this. See if you can remember. Okay. Governors and Deputy Governor. This is important. Shakti Kanta Das is the Governor of RBI. All these Deputy Governors, no need to remember. Can't remember also. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, was established on April 12, 1992 in accordance with Securities and Exchange Board of India Act 1992. Okay. Miss Madhabi Puri Butch. How do I even pronounce this name? My mistake if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm sure I am. Miss Madhabi Puri Butch is the present chairperson of Securities Exchange Board of India. Okay. Shri S.K. Mohanty and Shri Anant Barua are the whole-time members. Whole-time members not very important, but chairperson, remember, Madhabi Puri Butch. Okay. Please check out the pronunciation later. SEBI in news. Do we have anything newsworthy? What is newsworthy is missing here actually. Okay, so be it. See, all this is nonsense purely. We can't be expected to remember, of course, and how will they even ask questions based on that? So, not very important. See, they have not mentioned the current affairs at all. How can they mention SEBI and not mention the NSE scam involving Ms. Chitra? Anyway, if you are interested, please do check it out. It's called co-location scam. Okay, so she has now been arrested if I'm not mistaken. All this was happening when we had this what is this, SEBI, whose main agenda is to protect the interest of investors in security and to promote the development. Okay, anyway, so be it. Then comes Competition Commission of India, CCI. So it was originally enacted in 2002, amended in 2007. We won't be able to remember all that. That's okay. What else? See, with respect to Competition Commission of India, what I would suggest is please check out few cases. There are very interesting cases. Not many people know that uh, Competition Commission actually has landmark cases. So if you search for Competition Commission cases, you will find some landmark cases. So do check it out. It's an interesting thing. Then comes Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board. We don't have anything else. Is it CCI news? Nothing. Anyway, let's move on to IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. So which is entrusted with the, what is it? Looking of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So anything which they have mentioned which is important from the point of view of exam? Nothing. Just remember the acronym, that's all. And when was it established? Then comes the ICSI, only recognized professional body in India to develop and regulate the profession of company secretaries. Yes, we know that already. It is a premier national professional body set up under the Act of Parliament of blah 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 blah. When? 1980. It functions under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I'm sure you would have known by now. The institute provides top quality education to students of company secretaries. Indeed. And the best quality sets standards to CS members. At present, there are more than 65,000 members and around 2.5 lakh students on the roll of ICSI. 2.5 is, I don't know if it's less or not. I think, yeah. Anyway, 65,000 members at least is definitely less than what is the market demand. So that is something which you have to remember. That reminds me, do check out our latest community post, that is Ekcel Academy's community post. So lots of you'll get lots of information there. I don't know if I can show that here. I mean, I'm trying to get it. I don't know if community posts are displayed on desktop. I think it should be, right? Yeah, I think it can be displayed, yes. So I would like to draw your attention to this particular community post. This is the one. High demand for CS, let's know why. So please do check it out. So for instance, the number of active companies, this is as on 31st March 2021, now it would be more. So are 13,44,857 and so there are 3,27,000 CS and only about 65,835 company secretaries we just now saw. So there is a huge gap between what is demanded and what is actually supplied. For 13,44,000 companies, if you have only 65,000 company secretaries, obviously it isn't sufficient. So that is something which you have to give attention to. Then, okay, number of companies. This is also interesting. Out of the 65,835 company secretaries, there were only 11,471 CS members holding certificate of practice. So that also is really low. Okay, so that will tell you one thing. If at all there was a good time for studying CS, it is now. So do complete it as soon as possible. Of course, if you are here, you are preparing for CSEET. First clear that. And while at the community post, also check out our previous community post, that is government sector versus private sector. It's an interesting post by CSLO. So yeah, while at our channel, do subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you would have by now. Anyway, let's get back to what is that? Where were we? Yeah, let's come back. Now, ICSI has its headquarters at New Delhi. Then there are 4 regional offices. Not very important. All that is okay. Mm, okay, motto. Satyam Vada Dharma Chara. Okay. So that is the motto. Speak the truth, abide by the law. So then vision and mission. Read that and remember also. To be a global leader in promoting good corporate governance. To help high caliber professionals facilitating good corporate governance. Okay. Then we had the 49th National Convention of Company Secretaries in Karnataka. Okay. Fine. Summits and conferences. Again, this is important. Actually, all this is current affairs. G Summit 2021. Where was it held? In Carbis Bay, Cornwall. Okay. Anything which is important? No. Uh, See, all these things you won't be able to remember which issue was taken up, who spoke what. Not very important. If there is any fact based thing, you can remember. Otherwise, what's the point? Some of it is repeated actually. We had already seen all this. Again, they have repeated. I don't know why. India Russia summit. Okay. 24th National Conference on E-Governance. Oh my. The Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances (DARPG) and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, in association with State Government of Telangana, organized the 24th Conference on E-Governance on 7th to 8th Feb 2022 at Hyderabad, Telangana. Okay, remember that much. E-Governance Conference, National Conference, was hosted by Telangana government at Hyderabad. Nothing much has happened there. Hyderabad Declaration. Okay. Again, see, all these conferences resort that the government of India and state government shall collaborate to bring citizens and government closer through digital platforms. Broad strokes, no facts. I'm not saying all these things are bad. We don't have any relevance, or rather, these things don't have relevance in CSEET current affairs. That's what I mean when I say not required. These are all important things otherwise, but from the point of view of exam, not very important. That's it. Because we need facts. Okay. You won't be able to remember all this first of all. And how will they even ask? It's not a descriptive based exam anyway. Just remember the facts. Where was it held? When was it held? Who hosted? Etc. World Investor Week from 4th October to 10th October 21. Okay. That's all. Okay, let's move on to business personalities and leaders. Before that, let me take a quick break. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome back. Business personalities. Chairman and Managing Director of Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani. I'm sure you would have known already. So, anything else which is of importance and something which is related to current affairs? Strictly no. Azim Premji, a famous philanthropist and, of course, founder of Wipro. Anything else which happened recently with respect to Azim Premji? No. Kumar Mangalam Birla, Chairman of Aditya Birla Group. He's the National Council. He's on the National Council of Confederation of Indian Industry. Oh, that is fine. He's also a chartered accountant. Tim Cook, CEO of most valuable company in the world, Apple indeed. In fact, people were wondering what will happen to Apple after Steve Jobs, because Steve Jobs was the one who had actually got Apple on the world map. So, because Apple at some point of time in late 90s was actually not doing very well. So then he was brought back, and then he revived the company through initially first iPods. Then of course Macs were there. So he, what did he do was he removed all those products which he thought wouldn't be making any contribution towards the company's revenue. All those things which they couldn't work on, he just trimmed it to very few products. And of course in 2007 he introduced the iPhone, the world's most famous phone anyway. So then of course we had iPads as well. So, but people were wondering what will happen after his death. But Tim Cook has proved to be a wonderful administrator. In fact, Apple has now grown by leaps and bounds after he took over. So, yeah. See, if there is any system in place, all these things will be taken care on its own. Tim Cook. Next, someone else will come because of the system which Apple has built. Anyway, now Bill Gates. Gates founded Microsoft. We know Gates has not been part of Microsoft since a long time. Of course, now the CEO is Satya Nadella, an Indian origin from Hyderabad. Elon Musk, recently in news, was born in South Africa and is a businessman, inventor and investor. Is most widely known for his founding of PayPal and SpaceX, and his heavy involvement in Tesla Motors. Tesla Motors was actually not founded by him. Of course, that's why they said heavy involvement. Now he's the CEO, I guess. But it was founded by someone else, and then he came as an investor and took over the company. Now, of course, he is in news for buying Twitter. So Twitter is now more or less owned by Elon Musk. Then we have Warren Buffett. He's one of the most successful investors in the world. Yes, of course, Buffett is the successful investor. We have seen his, what is it? Berkeley something. That's the name of the company, I believe. Okay, then comes world leaders. We have our Prime Minister first, Mr. Narendra Modi. Anything which is of recent news? Okay, Joe Biden again. After Trump, he's the president of US. He's 77 years old. Oh my. Okay. Books and their authors. World Book Day was created by UNESCO on 23rd April 1995 as a worldwide celebration of books and reading. Why does it even need a day? Anyway, most students or youngsters don't read books these days. And At least the ones whom I know. I should put out that qualification. Nothing important. Gandhi Topi Governor. Okay, if at all, since they mentioned, just try to remember who wrote that book. Gandhi Topi Governor by Padma Awardee Yerlagadda Lakshmi Prasad. Okay, so the book chronicles the life of barrister Edupuganti Raghavendra Rao. Edupuganti Raghavendra Rao. Rao was prominent freedom fighter, okay, legislator and governor of the central provinces in the British administration. Okay. Then we have Karma Yodh Granth. Okay. Savarkar, Echoes from a Forgotten Past, 1883 to 1924 by Vikram Sampath. Okay, Vikram Sampath is a historian. In fact, if at all you are interested, I would suggest, if you like history, Royal Splendors of Mysore. An amazing book on Mysore, and of course Wadeyars. So you can check it out. By Vikram Sampath again. Then the vice president has also written a book, I guess. Listening, Learning and Leading. Okay. Viveka Deepani by Adi Shankaracharya. That is there. Anyway, let's move on to sports from there. Okay, this is definitely important. Which awards are given for what? Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award is given for the spectacular and most outstanding performance in the field of sports by a sports person over a period of previous 4 years. It's not just for 1, 2 or 3 years, 4 years consolidated performance, and based on that Khel Ratna Award is given. This Khel Ratna Award is the highest sports award you can get. If you are a sports person, you would aspire for this award. So, who was the first person to be awarded this? Viswanathan Anand, the former chess world champion from India. So he was the first one to be awarded this. Then we have Arjuna Award for outstanding performance in sports, Dronacharya Award for coaches, obviously, Dhyan Chand Award for lifetime achievement, and Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar, corporate entities. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award in 2021 was given to 12 sportspersons because of their achievements, mostly in Olympics. 35 received Arjuna Awards. So, yeah, these are the 12 who received Khel Ratna. Can't remember everything, so don't worry too much about all these names actually. Okay, ICC T20's World Cup 22 schedule has been released, and India will begin its 2020 schedule against Pakistan on 23rd, 22 at Melbourne. Okay, it will be held in Australia, is it? Okay, fine. Women's Cricket Cup 22 will be held in New Zealand from which is being held. Did it happen already? Okay, let me just check. I'm trying to see if Yeah, 4th March to 3rd April 2022. Host New Zealand, champions Australia, runners England. Okay, fine. Okay, next is the Commonwealth Game Federation. Okay, how many countries are there? 72 countries. Okay. Khelo India Youth Games Program. Not very important. Who will read all this? Languages and national symbols. Today we have 7,151 languages. 1 second, let me also check where we are. We have some more ground to cover. I don't think we can cover everything today only. Whatever we are not able to cover, we'll cover tomorrow. Okay. Languages and national symbols. 7,151 languages are spoken in the world, and interestingly, just 23 languages account for more than half the world's population. Obviously, that will always be the case. So, the languages which are spoken by more and more people will try to, not try to, they will obviously become more popular over a period of time. Subject to the provisions of Articles 3, 46 and 47, the legislature of state may by law adopt any one or more of languages in use in the state, or Hindi as the language or languages to be used for all or any of the official purposes of the state. Of course, this was also recently in news. Sorry for the disturbance, it's not under my control. So now, what exactly the news I'm talking about is, there has been this debate as to whether Hindi is the national language or not. Hindi isn't the national language. It has been made the official language, but again, you can choose anything else also as the official language. There is no such thing as national language. So whoever says Hindi is the national language is obviously not well informed. Okay, so we have the official languages. So there are many regional languages also which are official languages. Okay. I think the disturbance stopped. I hope they don't turn on the volume again. Okay, what else is given? What else is mentioned? Anything else? International Mother Language Day. Mother Language Day. Okay. Okay, National Hindi Divas. See, Hindi, which is written in Devanagari script, is one of the 22 scheduled languages of the country. That's all. Hindi is one of the official languages of Union government, with the other being English. Okay. Okay, then comes the national symbols. We have the national flag itself. I don't have to say much about this. 24 spokes, that is nothing but the charka. Then we have different colors representing different things. I don't want to get into that. You know that already. So, and recently this was in news actually. National flag. Let me see if I can pull that news. So I'm trying to pull that piece of information. Let me see if I can. I think I got it. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Amendment to flag code has Khadi activists upset. See, now what exactly they did was every time the tricolor fluttered over the Red Fort in New Delhi, the people of North Karnataka had a reason to feel proud, as the hand-spun, hand-woven Khadi flag was made in the country's sole BIS approved flag manufacturing unit in Hubballi. So it was handmade. So now the Union government recently, what they did was they allowed polyester and imported cloth to manufacture flag. As per Rule 1.2 of the Part 1 of the Flag Code of India, only khadi or handspun cloth was the material for flag. Use of other material was punishable. But the recent amendment has changed it to the national flag shall be made of handspun and hand woven or machine made cotton, polyester, wool, silk khadi. So this is, I don't know what to say. That means the machine made polyester that is made in India or imported from elsewhere can now be used for tricolor. Okay. Anyway, so that is the news related to, what is that, flag. I would say unfortunate news. So we had that exclusivity, where the flags were manufactured in India, especially in one part of India, North Karnataka. Now, if we can use polyester flags, the two imported flags, it's unfortunate indeed. National currency, Indian rupee is the official currency that we already know. This is the symbol, of course, the famous rupee symbol. State emblem. Okay. Sarnath lion. National bird, peacock. Okay. National animal, tiger. National flower, lotus. Olympic symbol. Again, there are few facts with respect to, actually all these things, there is nothing mentioned along with it. There is no fact related to all these symbols. The Olympic symbol, I'm sure you know those 5 rings. It represents the union of 5 continents, meeting of athletes from throughout the world at Olympic Games. Okay, let's move on to awards and honor. Padma Awards, which is anyway very popular. The government of India instituted 2 civilian awards, Bharat Ratna and Padma Vibhushan, in 1954. The latter had 3 classes, namely Pahla Varg, Dusra Varg and Tisra Varg. I think they are talking about the classes of Padma Vibhushan. So instead of that, what they did was they subsequently renamed it as Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. So Padma Shri is the basic one, then next stage would be Padma Bhushan, then would be Padma Vibhushan. After that, finally Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna is in fact the highest civilian award, so it is not normally given to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. In some cases, in some years, they don't declare this award at all. And many times they have given it posthumously. Posthumously means after the death of the person also. Like Dadasaheb Ambedkar got it so many years after his death. Okay, the recent ones: Padma Vibhushan, Prabha Atre, Art Field. Then the remaining ones are all posthumous. Padma Vibhushans. Then we have Padma Shri. You can see the Padma Shri list is almost like endless. It goes on. 107 is it? Oh my. That is inclusive of all the other words or only Padma Shri? Only Padma Shri 107. Awards in the field of cinema: Dadasaheb Phalke Award. To honor the father of Indian cinema, Dundiraj Govind Phalke, the National Film Awards named the most prestigious and coveted award of the Indian cinema after him. That's fine. He is the man who made the first Indian feature film Raja Harishchandra in 1913. Popularly known as Dadasaheb Phalke, he then went on to make 95 films and 26 short films in a span of 19 years. That's an amazing achievement. So he was introduced, the award was introduced in 1969 by the government to recognize his contribution. The first recipient of the award was Devika Rani. So, I think the latest recipient was Rajnikant. I think so. Okay, now the latest awards: Film of the Year, Pushpa, The Rise. Best Film Award, Sher Shah. Actor Ranveer Singh for 83. Actress Kriti Sanon for Mimi. Outstanding contribution for films, 2 films, Asha Parekh. Best Critics, Siddharth Malhotra. Critics Actor Best Award. Critics Best Actress, Kaira Advani. Best Actor in Supporting Role. Okay, I'm just trying to read who all won actually. No point in remembering all this. I'll just skip. Okay. ICSI National Awards for Excellence in Corporate Governance. They didn't mention Dadasaheb Phalke Award, no? Recent one. I think it was Rajnikant as far as I remember. Anyway. Okay, what else is left? Okay, so the major portion is more or less done. The rest of it doesn't occupy much of, will not take much of time. What we'll do is, we'll tomorrow continue with the rest and wind up our CSEET live crash course for upcoming exams. So all this is not important. You will not be able to remember anything anyway. So these are the awards, of course, instituted by our body, ICSI. Miss Universe 2, Harna Sandhu. Okay. 2021. From India, Arna Sandhu. Try to remember the name. So then comes the international diplomacy. Again, not very, very important because it's all about who inaugurated what, where the Prime Minister visited, etc. So we won't be able to remember all those facts. It's not even fact, it's like you'll have to write history, theory here. So much of this is here. Okay, Quad Leaders Summit was held in 2021. see, it goes without saying, though I'm saying. So just try to see. You have to scout for the facts. If at all there is any fact which strikes your eye, just underline. Try to remember. And the day before the exam, we will only look at those things which are underlined and move on. That's all. Okay. Okay, that's all for today. We will wind up today's session. We'll continue tomorrow and try to finish it off tomorrow only. So, yeah, thank you for joining our live session. So, let me draw your attention to our what is that? Where is this now? Yes. Please do book a counseling session. All you have to do is just WhatsApp us on this number 973-973-3400. So someone from our team will get in touch with you. If at all you have any doubts or queries, you can always ask them.